welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we're going to be doing a Wip Chat. If you're new here and you don't know what Wip stands for, it stands for Work in Progress, and what that means is that you can bring out your own whips, or if you want, you can do things like chores, drive around, or just sit on the couch, which is my personal favorite, and just do absolutely nothing while you listen to me ramble what's been going on during the week. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a few weeks since my last Whip and Chat, but had to focus on the event. Now that it's all done, I'm wrapping things up. Getting prizes sent out, and I can relax. I did have a ton of fun though, doing hosting the event and everything. It just, whew, that took a lot out of me. But anyway, we are still working on Keeper of the Keys, as you guys can see here. Let me just pull up the actual photo so you guys can see what she looks like. We've gotten to the point where I'm at her mouth, and we're almost completely done with the key that she's has in her hand. So I'm just on the very top part of it right now. I feel like I'm zooming and then I'm not zooming. This one, I'm not going to be zooming. There's a lot of confetti in this section, so I'm going to be taking my time. I'm probably going to slow down a little bit on this. I'm going to kind of, I should probably diamond paint while I talk instead of just gesturing and stuff. Anyway, I am thinking about doing what I used to do, and that was have one diamond painting upstairs and have one diamond painting downstairs. So that way I'm not like bringing things up and down the stairs like before. So this might become my upstairs project, so it might take a little bit slower for me to work on, because I really want to work on the Crafter's Den mystery kit, but I don't want to work on that on camera. So that would be my downstairs kit. So but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well today. As you can see, I have my little nameplate here. It broke. I had it like on one of my recording stands. That I have two recording stands. I got one downstairs, but it was on the recording stand, but it was like kind of between the arms. And when I shut the arm down, it snapped it in half. And I'm like, that was my own fault. So I tried to glue it a little bit, so you kind of can tell, but it's fine. It's fine. If it bothers me that much, I'll get a new one in the future. I'll probably have two different colors. That would be kind of neat. Like switch this out every so often. But yeah, it's still very cute. I love it a lot. I would put magnets on the back, because, but it's nice to put it on the fridge. But I just didn't feel like putting it down, the magnets on the back part, so to hold my canvas. I just meh. But yes, how are you guys doing? I know it's been a while. I don't know how long this Whip and Chat's going to be. It could be an hour, could be 45 minutes, could be 2 hours. I'm really hoping it's not 2 hours, but it could be with a lot that has been happening in between my last talk and this one. I think like the last one we were talking about with the stray cat that had part of its face, like really messed up and everything. I wanted to give you an update on that. The cat is fine. I finally saw the cat, wouldn't you believe, 4 days after I posted that video. I finally saw the cat. I didn't contact the lady because at that point the cat it looked completely healed. It was eating food. It was like kind of all over the place. It was it looked like its face was healed up. Now that I've seen it again, I saw it like 2 days ago now, and there's just kind of like a bald patch of fur on its side of the face, which is good. So I've been keeping an eye on that cat, but yeah, I figured that someone else probably had to take it in, because it looked all patched up and everything when we finally saw it. So and then the lady did release the other cat that we did catch back in our yard. So, and he's adorable, or she, and and that it's like a little orange-white kitten kind of thing. So that has been making its appearance at nighttime again on my cameras. The possum, it stops showing up again, like once the food sources there, it doesn't show up as often. It does kind of pop its head from time to time. Haven't seen that raccoon in a while though, thank goodness. But oh man, but been still getting a lot of stray animals coming through our backyard. So, especially with like all the stuff that we've been doing lately, I'm not surprised with how often we are getting visitors at night. But yeah, so had a very, very busy few weeks. Like I might be all over the place trying to remember things. I wrote things in a list, but I might jump from topic to topic, as you guys know. That's me. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy doing, if you guys did participate, the Chrisabug Along event that I was hosting last month, because I had fun doing it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it again next year. I'm 90% certain. I might need to prep a little bit more, or I might just make it a little bit more, loosey-goosey and just have it even more relaxed. I haven't decided. But yeah, oh yeah, this is gonna be a lot of confetti. Natalie, would you like to take over? Goodness, oh man, you would not believe, like, it wasn't this section. Which section was it? I think it was like right here around her neck. It took me 2 hours to complete. I was like, I like confetti, but there's times where it's just like, okay, this is getting a little too much, and it was starting to feel that way. But anyway, so where I last left off, it was literally like the week before spring break. So I had to have a week with the kids all home, and my husband, of course, is now going into the office at least 3 days a week. And there was only one drill for that color. Whoops. Okay. But anyway, so my husband had to go into the office 3 days of that week. So, and it stormed a good portion of that week on top of that. So the kids were bored. But before spring break happened officially, they had a half day on Friday. And so we decided to celebrate, and also we were kind of putting it off until Nicole came back from her vacation. Well, not her vacation, but from her band trip and everything. And because the Minecraft movie came out like right at the beginning of April, but then of course Nicole was on her trip, we didn't really want to be having her miss out on the movie as well. So we decided to go see the Minecraft movie right after the kids got out of school. And oh man, so I've heard so many different mixed reactions about this movie, but like all that I kept thinking is it's a kids movie. Like, why is people acting like it needs to be some sort of big, like it needs to be a lot deeper than what it really is? I went in expecting it to be a kids movie, and with it also being Jack Black, like, hello. I'm not expecting seriousness, and I got what I got. I loved it. I laughed. The kids laughed. We constantly sing Lava Chicken all the time around the house. And Chris has basically taught them, instead of saying it's tasty as hell, it's tasty as heh. So it's always like hearing it's tasty as heh every time from them. And it's kind of funny. But at the same time, I'm just kind of giving him looks like, really? Like, are you really teaching them that? He goes, what? So anyway, but yeah, we got that. And then of course, I kind of drive my oldest insane by going chicken jockey. I decided to cut it before she starts to drive me insane. I've decided to go and out meme her. So I've been pretty big on repeating a lot of the stuff that she says, so that way she won't drive me crazy. And now it's not so fun to try to drive me crazy when her mom's the one that's doing all the sayings that she's does, or sometimes even says it before she learns about it. So it's funny in a little bit, but other times I get a little bit of like respect from her. You know how it is with 13-year-olds. It's so weird. But yeah, it's just so we got to spend time watching the Minecraft movie, and I had fun. I laughed. And I actually asked my husband, like, "Hey, can I have popcorn?" Because the last few times when we went to the movies, we didn't get popcorn, and we usually get snacks and stuff for the kids while we're there, and an icy and stuff like that, or a slushy, whatever. And I wanted to get popcorn, and then of course, but none of the kids really wanted popcorn. But I ordered like a medium, but it was too much for me, and it got really salty right at the end. But I was sitting next to Nicole, and I was just kind of, "Psst, you want to try popcorn? Here, have some popcorn." So she and I kept like sharing popcorn and candy, and then there was a couple of times, like especially before the movie started, like I handed some popcorn to both Michael and Jana so they could try movie popcorn because they never experienced movie popcorn. They've only known popcorn like from what we pop, like it's Act 2, and it's the Butter Lovers type. That's the only type I really like. but yeah, so the kids were like, "Oh my goodness, this is great, this is awesome." But they couldn't keep it because it was my popcorn, and they had candy. But yeah, but it was nice to be able to experience movies like that. We can't really do movies too much because for a family of 5, it is so expensive to go see a movie. It is ridiculous, the price that we spent for snacks and tickets and everything. So yeah, it's we want to try and make it hopefully once a month, but if not once a month, maybe every 6 weeks to 2 months. Probably not buy snacks anymore, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes, especially with summer coming up. So and then after the Minecraft movie, we were planning to go eat, but at that point it was evening traffic, and we kind of went, we don't really want to go and wait in line for food, or we already spent such a huge amount of money. Let's just make sandwiches when we get home, which is what we did. We did some grilled cheese and ham and tomatoes, and it was delicious. So it was a nice little ending to that Friday, and a start to Easter and spring break. So yeah, so when our spring break was right around around Easter, so we had well, the kids already now know, all 3 of them already now know the truth about everything regarding with Easter bunnies and Santa and all that stuff. And surprisingly, Michael and Jana didn't cry. They were like, "Okay," but we did tell them we're still all in it and all that stuff. So that Saturday, I had to get all their Easter baskets all prepped and ready. They wanted to kind of help out, and we're like, no, you're still doing an Easter hunt and everything. You guys can't come downstairs. We're still doing traditions like this, where you guys aren't allowed to go downstairs until we come downstairs. So, oh my goodness. So we prepped everything. Like my husband and I watched like an episode of 2 of House. We kind of stuffed ourselves with candy as well. Like we were munching on candy while we were filling up the eggs and prepping their baskets and everything. I am so full. I was so full. Like I made myself sick. And oh my goodness, it was like we gotten like so much different types of candy and stuff like that, and they got their own little tiny plushies and things like that as well. So but they woke us up on that Sunday. And they bounced into our room just screaming, hollering. It was like, it scared us. Like, we were not expecting them to be awake. Even Nicole was awake at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, she doesn't wake up until 11. Well, correction, she is awake before 11. She doesn't come out of her room until 11. Let's see. All right. But yeah, so we did the whole Easter thing. We kind of hid the eggs all over the place, but we were a little sneaky. We decided to make we decided to kind of combine like goodness, like 9 or so eggs in a pile and then hide that pile. So it was like a pile of eggs, just they needed to find. And then like the other eggs that we did kind of put all over the place in the house. 4 of them had were just packed to the brim with a specific candy. So it was still going to be shared between all 3 of them, but it was just more of a surprise because we didn't do that in years past. So it was a big surprise because they're like, why is this egg heavier than all the others? And then they open it and it's just overflowing with candy. So I think we did a pretty good job for Easter on that front. And then, of course, since it was like spring break, I'm trying to prep and I'm getting grocery shopping and stuff like that. And what I have now lovingly dubbed the toaster war. So my husband and I have been button heads. We got rid of our old toaster. Goodness, sometime last year we got rid of it and we never replaced it. And my husband and I have been kind of just button heads a little bit about getting a new toaster. He's in the no category. I'm in the yes category. He's basically like, we got a perfectly good air fryer and oven to warm up the turnovers, or like the frozen waffles, or Pop-Tarts, or bagels, and etc. And I'm in the category of, well, that's all fine and dandy for school days, but what about during the times when the kids are home and they want to make themselves a snack? I or you have to get up and preheat the oven because they're still too young to do that. Well, Nicole isn't, but Nicole's not up at the same time where Michael and Jana are. So I was like, no, we need a toaster. And it's been back and forth with it. And then he finally said, okay, if you can actually, this is the biggest reason why he's been so set against getting a toaster. He said, okay, if you can actually find space on the counter, we will get a toaster. And I just like, because our counters are just full with not just appliances. We don't have, I blame him to this day. So when we were picking out the blueprints for this house, I had the blueprints that I picked out where it had a kitchen that had a pantry, but it also had like an L-shape type counter space. So like there was, and plus with the island, so we would have so much counter space. Like I was planning ahead. He was like, I told him this is the blueprints that I really think will work best with us. This is before we knew I was pregnant. Well, I wasn't pregnant at the time. This was like, because it takes like 6+ months for the house to get built. This is like, but anyway, he comes back and goes, I changed the plans. And it was basically because he wanted to get an office. So the plans were pretty much the same upstairs, but downstairs got changed a little bit, and it got changed to basically where I had the pantry wanted to be, it got put into the corner. And that now means that L-shaped counter space is completely gone. So we have basically a short amount of counter space, like from the pantry to the door, and then like a small amount from the pantry to the to our fridge. We don't have as much space. Anyway, so, and then our island actually had sink in it, so it's not a full-on island anymore. So I was very sad. So anyway, uh so I looked around, I looked at the counter space, and right next to the pantry, like near the it's like pantry, counter space, then oven. So, I was looking at it, and because that was originally where we had our coffee pot and stuff like that, until we moved it right next to the microwave on the other side of the kitchen. I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, okay, we have the cutting boards, we have the cooking utensils. If I just slide the cutting board and put it up against this wall instead of it being up against wall, we have space. And I basically did that, just like straightened up a little bit. I took a picture and I'm like, we have space. And he goes, okay, get yourself a toaster. So I did. I got a 4-slice toaster this time. Our last toaster, it was just only 2 slices. This time I got a 4, and I also picked extra wide for bagels because Jana has been on a huge bagel kick lately. I mean, like Nicole loves to eat bagels. I like to eat bagels occasionally, but Jana has been obsessed about eating bagels a lot and like putting cream cheese on it and all that. So yeah, we got one that's a little extra wide so the bagels can fit and everything. So yeah, my spring break was off to a little bit of a great start because I don't want to be always cooking and cooking and cooking, and I don't want my husband always cooking and cooking and cooking. It's like, so, and especially during the weekends where it's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chilled. It's nice where the kids wake up and instead of them having to make themselves a bowl of cereal, if they want, they can, heat up some frozen waffles or like some frozen pancakes that we prepped ahead of time, or, like a bagel or Pop-Tarts, So that was a good time. Like, and I get to sleep in, well, I say I get to sleep in. I don't really. The days when I do sleep downstairs because of like if I have a pinched nerve or something, I'll sleep downstairs to prop up my pillow and stuff like that. But anyway, those days, like, they still kind of wake me up because they're very chitty chatty, and I'm kind of like, guys, you can talk, but whisper. They don't know what a whisper is, so but yeah, so yeah, I won the toaster war. Woo! But yeah, so that was like the beginning of our spring break with it starting to Easter, and then it was just like with it, I was kind of hoping like since it was spring break, we could do some things, especially since it was raining. I bought like basically it's like a kaleidoscope and then also a bouncy ball set, so that way they can, like, they're like little kits and stuff like that. So they've made the kaleidoscopes, and that was fun. They had a ton of fun. They got really into it. They didn't know what a kaleidoscope was, and I'm like, did I go wrong in teaching you for your childhood? I'm like, we gotta fix that right now. So now they know what a kaleidoscope is, and they love it. I'm like, maybe I should get them a proper one so that way they also see what, to know what they've been missing out on. I'm kind of tempted to do that. Let's see. Like I said, this is going to be a lot of color changes. Let's see. But yeah, it's just like it's stormed, but it didn't storm. We had moments where it was like nice and sunny, and then I'm like, okay, maybe we can go out, and then it starts storming and stuff like that. So so we were kind of stuck for a while. Jana's obsessed with playing Fortnite, so she got to do that. Nicole kind of just stayed in her room and she chilled a bit. There was times when she did come downstairs, but we were my husband and I were mostly prepping for the end of the week, because the end of the week was Michael and Jana's birthday. It was their actual birthday, so they turned the big 10, and it's like double digits. I now officially don't have any children that are under single digits. All of them are in the double digits. I got 10, 10, and 13. It's kind of hard. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Not one bit. But anyway, before that, there was like on the days when it got nice and sunny, my husband was we got hit with a fine from the HOA, and they wanted 10 days for us to fix the issue. So our grass has been completely dead. Like it's been a drought and we needed the rain, so and everything, but our we've been like fertilized, not we've been we hired a service to basically spray the yard with weed killer and then also fertilizer. It killed the weeds. It sure killed the weeds, but the weeds was what was growing in our yard. So now we got a lot of bulb patches, and especially in our front yard, there is a bunch. So they fined us for no grass, okay? But they wanted 10 days for us to rectify this issue. I'm like, there is not any way there is going to be grass growing in this spot for 10 days. We've been trying. We have been planting seed. I think we planted grass seed twice. We aerated the yard twice. Basically, someone who was in our neighbor's yard, they had this big old tractor with spikes and stuff like that, and was aerating their yard. Accidentally got a little bit into ours. They apologized. We're like, hey, no, we're gonna look at this like a gift horse in the mouth, and we paid them to basically aerate the rest of our yard and then seed it as well. It still didn't work. We water. And speaking of watering, our water meter has finally gotten fixed, so we are very sad. Our water meter has been broken for quite some time. And they haven't been able to read it. No fault of ours. It's like basically it's been broken like for a lot of houses on the street, if I recall. So they did tell us, hey, we're going to be coming by and fixing your water meters, but, don't worry, you're not going to be, we're not charging you, for the missing, water. But basically, we paid for the bare minimum, which was nice. And now, the last month or so, our water bill has spiked up. But yeah, we've been trying to water the yard. Lawn, yard, whatever. And it's just nothing wants to grow. We're going to try it again. We had a lot of other stuff that we were trying to do, and my husband didn't want to try and seed the yard until he was done with this one specific job, which was we started trimming the backyard. We got, well, when I say we, I mean he started trimming the backyard because we have so many trees. Like, it's just a cluster of trees up against our neighbor's fence, and we know most of the trees are ours except one tree leans up against their fence, and we didn't touch that tree whatsoever. We're like, nope, because we know that it is, excuse me. Whew, sorry about that. Had a phone call from insurance. I had to take that. Fun times, insurance, right? So yeah, had a nice little phone call with that. I know we were talking about spring break, and toasters. Spring break and toasters. I don't remember where else I was located. Birthdays. So anyway, see, my memory is failing me, guys. I am so sorry. Let's see. So, yeah, Michael and Jana, they turned 10 last month. So that was a big deal. Before their birthday, we were trying to prep for it. And we actually decided to let them invite a couple of friends to come over and also have a sleepover, because Michael and Jana were actually invited to a birthday party with one of the girls one of Jana's best friends, and they went to their birthday party at that about a week or so prior to everything. So when we were reaching out, we were told that, yeah, sure, we're gonna we can arrange a sleepover kind of thing as well, and everything. And then we had Michael, so that way we had one girl, one boy. They would have their own sleepovers, kind of thing. And so we told Michael to invite one boy, and that's what he did. No one was messaging us. We were like, what is going on? We had no one messaging us, telling us, hey, yeah, this is happening, that kind of thing. No one told us. So finally get a message middle of the week, and it's from one of Michael's friends. And basically finally, confirmed it and everything. Got confirmation that, yeah, he is going. So we're like, okay, good. That's one kid down. We know that's, and they're doing a sleepover and everything as well. Okay, good. Whew. So then my husband, he decides to message Jana's friend, her mother, to see, because she didn't really confirm it once we gave the invitation and stuff. And it turns out that they miscalculated. So we knew that they were on a trip this week. Well, spring break week, sorry. That we knew that they were on a trip. And we basically, they said that they will be back the day of their birthday party, right? Turns out they won't be back till the day after. So we were kind of scrambling because we did buy food and stuff like that. So we changed it. We told Jana, basically, this is still a celebration for both of them, because it is true, and they are still friends with this, but we decided to do 2 boys instead. Basically, Jana's going to get a chance to have 2 girls for a sleepover, but they got to celebrate the birthday together. They're still they're friends with both of these kids anyway. So I basically sent an invitation to, and I know this is the day before, the party. No don't worry about presents. It's just a small intimate thing, I just kind of wrote it out, and I sent it with Jana and Michael when they went to visit their friend's house over here. And they came home and said that the parents said it was a-okay. I'm like, are you sure? No one messaged me about it. No one said, hey, this is okay. All they said that from Michael and Jana's perspective, they were okay with the party part, but not completely sure about the sleepover part, because they haven't met us. I'm like, okay, so we'll only just have a sleepover for one kid. That's fine. That's how I was interpreting it. And I'm just I did put my contact information. I didn't just put mine. I put my husband's. Plus, I put our address to the place that we were going. We were doing basically mini golf. So we were doing mini golf, so I put the location's address to there, and then said after the party we're starting a sleepover kind of thing, and that's it. Oh my goodness, it's just it felt nuts. So so day of the party happens, right? Day of, it's Saturday. I'm rushing around, feeling very hectic. I'm trying to clean up the house because, the house is still looking a little mess. It's been an entire week of them staying home. So it was messy. But I had a lot of help with with all 3 of the kids, thankfully. So we cleaned up as best as we could. And I gotten it to where basically the downstairs didn't look like it was completely like a tornado has gone through it, just a partial one. But yeah, the whole thing started. My husband already went to Publix to pick up the pepperoni rolls. We also got bread dipping stuff, and then I'm trying to think, what was it? We also gotten the cake. There we go. Michael and Jana decided to pick a cake. We were like, okay, choose a cake flavor. We were fully prepared to have 2 different cakes, but no, both of them wanted the same cake. So it was like, perfect. That's awesome. So we got cookies and cream type cakes, and oh my gosh, that thing was like so decadent, and it tasted so good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's see. Goodness. But yeah, so we made plans with one of the friends, the one that did contact us, to basically she can drop her son off. We would take her son to the party and like basically to the golfing place, and then come home, and that's that. And it was like she'll drop him off and be like blah, but then we had a talk, and it turns out like she and her husband works at pretty much in the same spot that my husband works, so they had a nice little conversation, and I'm just like, and it's like, it's time to go, because it's 2:00. I don't know about the other kid. No one's messaging me, yet. And I'm like, let's go, because the party starts at 2. Essentially, we didn't like rent anything or anything. Like I said, it's just 2 extra kids, so there was like no need to make a big old birthday thing if it was only just 2 kids. So. And anyway, so that this will become very important to the story. So we weren't late, thankfully. Well, I mean, like I guess you could say we were. We got there right at 2 when we said that everyone's supposed to be there, and at that point, the kid comes running out from the mini golf place saying, "Where were you guys?" We were dealing with some awful traffic. Someone, like, right at that spot, too, was like, we had to turn into a different detour and everything, because they were doing, like, some construction on the power lines, and it was a whole mess. Oh my gosh. But we're like, then the mom was all like, yeah, we asked about if there was a party here, and they said that there's only 2 parties going on, and your guys' names weren't on it. And I was just like, ugh. This is why like, they didn't even call us and to confirm the whole thing, like, so that way I could explain it a bit more in detail and stuff like that. Plus, I had like a little sticky note too that I put onto the invitation, kind of letting them know what's up. But no one reads anything, it feels like. So yeah, I was just like, well, and I was like, okay, just apologize and let's move on, right? But I wasn't the biggest fan of this mom, to be honest, compared to the other person's mom. This mom, she just kind of gave me a 5, but it's whatever. But her kid, reminds me so much of Michael. But intensified. Like, he was like Michael's personality, but even more so. like times it by about 20 or 30. It was a bit much. We kind of had to corral everyone through the mini golf place, but it seemed like everyone was having fun. Michael kind of got a little tired right at the end. I don't think he's a big fan of mini golf, and he thought he was. Like, he thought it was going to be a fun time, and then he kind of got bored. But to be fair, the place was pretty loud. I think we would do better if it was an outdoor mini golf place instead, because this one was like glow in the dark, and it was like the music was really loud. There was the fake fog stuff everywhere. So to me, I wasn't enjoying it, to be honest. And I like mini golf, but I think he would probably have a better time if we went somewhere else. But not when it's in the middle of summer. We'll probably try again a different time, like when the weather gets cool again, because it is hot now, too hot. Let's see. let's see. So yeah, we didn't spend too much time at mini golf, but I know that I was surprised because Nicole actually decided to come with. We did give her the option, since she's 13, to stay behind. And man the fort, basically. But she's like, nope, she wanted to come. We're like, okay. But then she started having, the whole 13-year-old attitude right at the end. We had to kind of shut that down. I'm like, no, this is their birthday. Don't be nasty, that kind of stuff. So that was a fun time. But then we got confirmation from the mom who had brought her son to the mini golf place that yes, we are going to come. I am going to drop my kid off over at your house for a sleepover, and I'm like, oh, okay. Plans change again. Okay, so we're like scrambling, and it's like, for me, it's just like more. Okay, I really, really would like it if you would just say yes, like beforehand, or call me or something. But I'm like, okay, we're gonna just go with the flow. We're gonna go with the flow. It's okay. And I was telling myself, well, it's my fault because I invited literally the day before. Okay, I think today is going to just be a bunch of interruptions. I didn't think you guys wanted to hear my sneezing attack. But yeah, I felt like it was kind of mostly my fault for inviting the day before, but I would also like to have, but I also tried to make sure that I had plenty of ways of contact, and I would just, even if someone invited me like literally a day before, I would call and let them know if I could or couldn't come at that point. But most for sure, like if I was coming, I would be like, yes, we would love to go, like that, and, make sure. So it's just like, I was just a little agitated, like, with that kind of stuff that was going on. So, but sucked it up, told myself it's my fault for doing a last minute invitation. And just go with the flow. Plus the kids are excited. Now we have two kids for a sleepover instead of one. And I had to make an emergency call to my mother-in-law and go, could we borrow the second air mattress? Because we borrowed one of theirs, but now we needed to borrow a second one because, hello, we have a second kid now sleeping over. So luckily they found it while the kids were still inside the mini golf place, because it also has like an arcade area, and my husband was like gave everyone like a little card to use to basically do try and earn prizes and stuff like that. So they had fun while I was like trying to do emergency control in the background. And we got the okay from my mother-in-law. So thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. It was like, I was just trying not to panic, but it was like, I was having a slight panic attack. So yeah, we told this kid's mom, like, hey, we're not going home right away. We got to make a small detour so that way we can pick up a sleeping bag. Well, not a sleeping bag, but an air mattress. And she's like, okay. And she gave me her phone number to, finally, so there was like some sort of contact. I'm like, I'll let you know when we get back home to the neighborhood and you can drop them off. And I felt like that was communicative enough to me, find out, like, luckily, we are just pulling into the neighborhood when my phone goes off, and it is her at the front door, ringing the doorbell, and I'm just like, oh, goodness gracious, I told you, we'll let you know when we get here. But, I'm like, okay. And so I had to text her and go, hey, we're almost here. We just pulled into the neighborhood. We'll be there in just a minute. And I'm sure she's all like, these people do not have, they don't have their stuff together. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, this woman does not let me just, goodness. But it's just like, I don't know what's going on. But anyway. I felt a little underprepared is all I'm going to say with the sleepover bit. Because I have done sleepovers with Nicole. I have done sleepovers with multiple kids with Nicole. This is the first time Michael and Gina has been able to have a sleepover of one of their friends. And it was an experience. Definitely some personalities clashing. So this, no shade to this child, like the one that lives like her, the one with the I need to figure out how am I going to differentiate. How am I going to tell you the difference? Okay, E and A. There we go. E and A. We're going to go with that. So, A's mom did not prep us at all. Like I said, like she was just like, okay, I'm going to just do this and, bam, so like when I was talking to E's mom beforehand, I was like, does he have any allergies? You trying to make sure, like, while I'm picking up food, so that way I'm not going to, poison someone's kid, right? Like, I know sometimes I overthink things, but I get so like wrapped up in my head on some of this stuff. But so I was a little bit prepared for E. But for A, I was out of my element, guys. I was so out of my element. And his mom did not warn me about a lot of the stuff, like about how he acts and stuff like that. Like I said, he is like Michael, and I mean like energy wise, personality wise, but ramped up by a lot. And I expected loudness when we have kids in the house, and especially when we have boys, but I could not think. I literally could not think to myself. It was so hard to try and focus on things. So okay, just making sure I picked the right color. Anyway, so I had to also prep. So as you guys know, I'm going to a crafting retreat at the end of this month. And the funny thing was, there was a Zoom call about it that same day. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it home in time or what, but we did. But then it was like, I'm not sure if I'm able to listen to the conversation because of how loud it was going on. But my husband's like, I got this. You go in and take care of what you need to do. I'm like, are you sure? Because, I'll just listen to like, like the notes and stuff like that instead. It'll be okay. But he's like, no, go, save yourself. But I didn't save myself. But anyway, so, I'm like, we're kind of prepping things up. I'm trying to get ready for the for my Zoom call, but I'm also like prepping things up because we did let the parents know that we're going to watch Dogman. The kids have watched Dogman in the theaters before, but we thought it'd be kind of a nice decent movie for that everyone can read and stuff like that. And I found out that A's mom has like he has a huge collection of Dogman, so I was like, okay, so she's perfectly okay with it. I made sure, double sure. And then I was just like, as she's dropping him off, she's like handing me the medicine like that he has to take. She goes, you need to give this to him or else he'll never sleep. I'm like, okay, all right. And then she's all like, and then I'm like, okay, does he have any allergies? Anything that I need to be aware of? She goes, oh, he has a red meat aversion. Like, and I'm just like, oh goodness. I'm like, well, we have pepperoni rolls for dinner. Is he able to eat that? Or I'm like, I'm perfectly happy to make like some sort of sandwich for him. She goes, oh, I think he'll eat that. He'll at least try it. He didn't like it. He did not like it at one bit. I'm like, okay. So we had to make him a sandwich, the poor kid. But I tried to make up for it. So I was like, do you eat popcorn? Since we're having a movie, I pulled out my special popcorn that I don't really let the kids have and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's fine. It's fine. We'll split it up. So I got that for the kids. We got a bunch of fruit. They had like so much fruit to eat. We had like a fruit platter. I forgot to mention that. So had a big old fruit platter for them, popcorn, and of course the pepperoni things, the little pepperoni rolls. So that they got to snack on, and and then we turn on the Dogman movie. I'm like, okay, let me know if I need to do anything. We already plan to do cake, like, to cut the cake after the movie and all that stuff. So, so I'm getting credit, and it starts off like the videos, like I'm able to focus on the Zoom call okay for the first part, and then it gets rowdy outside and loud and louder and louder, and I just like, I gotta log off. I need to make sure my husband's okay, because it's a lot of kids, and Nicole at this point has already vacated to her room, and she has basically now deemed herself a hobbit for the time being. I'm like, okay. I actually might be a little bit more than that. I don't know. I might be missing out where all the symbols are on this one. This one's a little bit more sporadic. But yeah, anyway, so I come out, and my husband's like, is it wrapped up? I just went, yep, it's all wrapped up. Didn't want to be like, nope, I logged out early. I was just like, yep, it's all wrapped up. Let's go cut the cake. So yeah, we got the cake cutting commence, and luckily A will eat the cake. Oh, thank goodness. I was like, okay, because I was like worried if he would not be able to eat the cake at this point. So he did have some cake. I'm like, okay, good, great. And then I immediately regret giving him cake. Like, so he was the loudest of all the kids, and he is obsessed with playing Castle Crashers. And it got to the point where the other kids didn't really want to play Castle Crashers. So that was all he was doing when he was at the house, was playing that game with the kids. And it got to the point where the kids were like, we're done. We're kind of done. And we're like trying to make sure everything's cohesive and stuff like that. But it was just like, it was a lot. It was truly a lot. But the kids, Michael and Jana especially, they had so much fun. They thanked us. They're still thanking us for getting them a birthday party like this. So I feel like we did good, even though my husband and I, it took us a few days to recoup, because we were exhausted after that. But yeah, but we did, we got things settled, and then we were trying to get things, like I said, we were getting things settled for the night, and at that point I decided to take the Nintendo Switch upstairs, so that way A wasn't trying to get into it, and he made a excuse me, he made a comment going, I sleepwalk. And at that point my husband and I were like, what? He goes, yeah, I sleepwalk. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, why didn't his mom tell me this? So my husband and I changed plans, because we were going to have the blow-up beds, or like just have all three of the boys sleep downstairs. Jana was not happy, by the way. She was not happy about the fact that no one was going to be able to sleep in her room, or like, they're boys, sweetie, trying to gently, go, it's not appropriate. Plus the parents said they don't want that. We got to respect the parents' wishes. Plus we don't feel comfortable with that, trying to make it as, gentle as possible, but she's 10, she doesn't understand. But anyway, we're like, okay. And then my husband's like, I'll sleep downstairs. I'll sleep downstairs with the boys. I'm like, okay. So what we did was, my husband took the long side of the couch. Michael took like the short side of the couch. And then we had the 2 air mattresses for for E and A. So they got to get settled. We made sure that there was extra pillows, extra blankets, all that stuff. Because originally it was just Michael's going to sleep on the long side of the couch, and be like, they would all have like a little powwow and talk like that, because I was kind of figured they're not going to really go to sleep. But then we called bedtime early, because at that point we were exhausted. Michael was exhausted. And we were told that by E's parents They said, yeah, he sleeps. He'll stay up as late as possible. But if you say, hey, it's time for bed, he won't complain. He'll go to sleep. And that's pretty much it. With A, it was just I could hear him thumping all night long. He was such a fitful sleeper. Like he's not a troublemaker. He's a good kid. I know I seem to be griping about him a lot. And overall, if I was just a bit more prepped, I think it would have been fine. If we were just a bit more prepped, if his mom just at least gave us a bit more like responses of like, oh, this and this happens, like that kind of thing. And like I said, I know I invited last minute, but at the same time, it's like, if your kid has a long list of things, you may want to let the parents know before you just drop your kid off and bye. So, but anyway, next morning we wake up. All of us wake up bright and early. I wake up because I just hear the racket, and I'm just like kind of telling myself, do I really need to go downstairs? Do I really need to go downstairs? Do I really need to go downstairs? The answer was yes. So especially since my husband comes upstairs and I'm like, hi, hon. He goes, ugh. So he goes, takes his shower. I go downstairs to try and round up the kids and everything. And try and deflate the air mattresses. It's not working. And they're playing Castle Crashers already. I'm like, oh great. So yeah, we're prepping that, and at that point we're like, I'm kind of like, okay, people are going to be picking up. We let everyone know what time was a good time. We said we'll be making breakfast around 9:30. So pickup should be like 11ish and stuff like that. We didn't really have anyone adhere to that time, to be honest. But at that point, I didn't care. We actually made breakfast early, so I was like, okay, well, that's a good thing we made breakfast early because they got picked up early. Especially A's parents, so it was his dad that came picked up, but we pushed the couches and they got to play Super Smash Brothers, which, whoo, that was a whole nother game. I regret letting them play. Let's see, what color do I want to do next? Let's go with this one. But yeah, so yeah, I regret. I have lots of regrets. Well, no, not really. But I'm glad that the kids had fun overall. But whew. But anyway, yeah. So they got A got picked up, and he was trying to hide. His dad had to come and get him, and because he was refusing to leave, and we're like, sorry, dude, definitely, he's definitely allowed to come back. I'm not like saying, oh my God, because he was just such a handful, he's not allowed to come back. I'm like, nah, he is. Like I said, he's a good kid. Just now I'm a little bit more prepped. Now I'm a bit more prepared. I can at least, mentally prepare myself for loudness. I found my earbuds, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have like these little earbuds right here, basically, so that way you can block out some sound and stuff like that. It muffles it, but it doesn't completely block it out. So I got that, but I bought I'm going to give this to Nicole. I got a different set of earbuds things to put on it for her, so we're not wearing the same thing. But anyway, I upgraded mine so where it's like for travel and stuff like that. So I have it where it's 3 settings, where it's like one is like for sleep, another one's like kind of like for travel kind of thing, and then the other ones like for like talking and stuff, but to block out a lot of noise, like if you're going to a concert or something like that. So I'm at least able to do that, and I'm like, okay, we're going to upgrade mine. So, and this is going to go for Nicole because she's sensitive to sounds and stuff like that. But yeah, so A got to leave. I breathed a sigh of relief. And I know it was bad, but it was just like, okay, I can start at least, cleaning up. And then E's parents came over, well, his mom, and we we just started talking instead. And she was trying to help clean up, and I'm like, no, 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 you said I got it. And at that point, I have discovered A's Switch controller. So we have a rule in our house: if you're going to play on the electronics, you gotta wash your face and hands before you do so. We have way too much experience with the kids not doing that, and sticky remotes and electronics and stuff like that. So we've basically have put our foot down on that. Well, we said to wash your hands and stuff, and I noticed that A didn't really wash his hands late last night, or that night, and I had to turn him around and make him wash his hands again, because his version of washing hands was just turning on the water, putting his hands under, and then putting it out, and then I'm like, done. I'm like, no, 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 because he had cake all over his face and stuff like that. Yeah, so he was playing the game while he was also eating his cake. So the controller was entirely covered in cake that he was still playing on that day. Ew. So I had Lysol wipes. I started cleaning all these controllers and getting ready. It's just like kind of going ew, 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 and I'm just like trying to clean the other surfaces too. At this point, it's like, okay, let's just start wiping down the halls and all that stuff. Essentially, because at that point my husband had to go to the store real quick, because we were prepping for his parents to come over to celebrate the kid's birthday and everything. We decided, we're going to make ribs and stuff like that, smoked ribs and things. So the kids got to have basically two little parties, which they loved a lot. But yeah, it was like ew, 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 ew. But it was great. Also, like I got along with E's parents a lot. I don't know if it's just because they were closer to age or whatnot, but I was a lot closer to them with conversations and everything. Like I said, A is a good kid. I will still invite him over and stuff. His mom just gives me, I don't know. It just I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna say anything unkind. I'm I guess I'm not the biggest fan of her. I don't know. Like the way she was talking when we were at the mini golf place, like she and I didn't hit it off. And you know what? That's okay. You're not going to hit it off with every single person you make. But it was just like, I'm not so sure about you. Things may change. We'll see. But I really liked E's parents. In fact, oh my goodness, like beforehand, like Michael and Jana was going over to A's house a lot. Now that we've met E's parents and everything, they live on the opposite side of the neighborhood, so it's a bit of a walk. So we don't want the kids to walk because it's a big neighborhood. So now we're making plans to like drop them off and stuff like that, and vice versa. But let's see. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But anyway, his mom and I talked for a bit before we just she's like, okay, gonna go leave and everything. I finished cleaning up and getting ready before my in-laws showed up. My husband came back home, started prepping the food and everything, and I took a break. I was just like, I'm taking a small break before everyone shows up. And that's what I did. I was like, I didn't diamond paint. I didn't have a chance to diamond paint until like later that day, until my mother-in-law showed up. And then it's like pretty much the first time I diamond painted that day. It was like, oh good lord, I'm so tired. Let's see, what color do I want to work on next? This one, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, so it's so that was like all of spring break. So that was a week, and then last week, this whole month's going to be extremely busy for us. It's just been it's been one thing after another. Like what we got, like we have a lot of doctor's appointments lined up, dentist appointments. Like the week before spring break was Nicole's dentist appointment. She got a clean bill of health, no cavities. Yes, on the plaque, unfortunately. So better she needs to do a better job of flossing. I have a feeling it's going to be the same for the twins as well. Hopefully. So I was so grateful. She's 13, hasn't had a cavity. I really don't want that to change. I want it to stay that way. So knock on wood that stays the same. um, let's see. But yeah, it's just like a lot has happened last week. So last week was let's see, it was, they came back from school, and of course, Monday was like them dragging their feet. No one wanted to go to school. We're like, come on, trying to rush them out the door. No one wanted to be rushed out the door. it was it was a lot, but and especially since they were kind of getting over the high of their birthday from the night before, because like I said, Sunday was my in-laws. They came over to celebrate, and everything. So it was just like 2 days of that, and then back to school. It's like, and then of course Jada, she turns and says, "Are you gonna bring cupcakes to class?" And we just kind of went, "No, no, I'm sorry, kid. It's not happening." I know that disappointed her, but I was just like, we're birthdayed out now. We're done. You had a bit. It's okay." um. So yeah, it was just like, whew. But yeah. So this week, well, not this week, but last week they were they went all went to they got to school, dragged their feet about it, finally started feeling a little bit better. And then Wednesday was the jazz concert for Nicole. Well, it was 6th grade plus all 3 of the jazz bands. So she's in jazz band 2. Hopefully next year she'll be in jazz ensemble, so like jazz 1. And my in-laws got to see that as well. I invited my mother-in-law to kind of spend the day with me, since they were going to go see the concert anyway. I'm like, hey, why don't you just, come over to the house and hang out, and that kind of stuff. So that was fun to do. Got to spend a bunch of time talking to her. It was like, I think it was like I was actually in this section where there was so much confetti, so it helped a little bit. It helped me a little bit getting through all that confetti, because it was so much. It was so much, guys. And yeah, we we didn't really make lunch dinner for them. I made her lunch, but we didn't really make dinner or anything. It was kind of like a leftovers and stuff situation. That was that we kind of did for the kids, and that was it, because Michael and Jana, they were kind of bored. And we had to go. It was like the concert was like, we gotta go, and it's going to be like that this week as well, because Nicole has a concert this week too. This is for 7th and 8th grade, so we gotta do that. So more concert stuff. Woo! But yeah, it's just it's going to be a bunch of end of the year stuff that's happening. Just things are climbing, things are feeling rushed, but it's okay. But on the day of the concert, so my husband and I gotten a package the day before, and it was kind of funny because we got the package the day before, and it was basically a early Mother's Day gift for my mother-in-law. So got her like basically this little, and it was perfect because she sits in our kitchen, at our kitchen, not a kitchen table, but the kitchen chair, when she's diamond painting with us and stuff like that. And it was just like, she needs to be comfortable. So we got her one of those cushion lab, those little cushion seats and stuff like that. They're supposed to be really good and everything. So we got her a nice little gift like that. So it was I hope she likes it. She said she did. So like, and hopefully, and especially like, we were thinking about the fact that, traveling and stuff like that, it'd be nice to have something nice to sit on and on a long car ride kind of thing. So, I hopefully she likes it. So she seemed to be okay with it. while we were at the house, she was using it. So cross your fingers. But yeah, so we got an early Mother's Day, really early, honestly. And speaking of, I kind of made myself an early Mother's Day gift as well. So last week, was it last week? Anyway, it was like the moment when they did a release of the Moments of Tranquility. It was at Mermaid, and I had to get it. I had to get the Mermaid. I was like, nope, that's mine. That's going. I'm sorry, Pocketbook. I know you're crying, but I need that diamond painting. So I bought that because it's meant for like Mother's Day stuff. So I was like, yes, you're mine. So I bought that, and plus the mini dazzle fairies. I unboxed the fairies. I'm gonna have that like sometime this week. It's so cute. I love the fairies. I'm sincerely like debating about working on that sometime this weekend. I'm really thinking about it, like because especially if I'm having this upstairs and I'm going to hang out with the kids, be nice to work on that while I'm hanging out with the kiddos. We'll see. Let's see. But that wasn't the only thing that I bought. I excuse me. I bought a couple of other things as well. So I got like fish spirit and then a couple of more mini dazzles, and those have come in. And then like I got it was funny. So a package an order that I made like way back on April 12th, which was a Chrysabug, and then it was Books and Dragons, or Dragons and Books. It was a partial, but it's adorable, and I wanted to work on that sometime. But it finally shipped along with another package that another order that I had. So they just combined the two. So I have five things coming in. So it's like, okay, well, everything's coming in all at once. That's perfect. So I don't have to be nervous about it, showing up during the retreat, and then some stuff from Jade at Gym Shop came actually last Wednesday, like when my mother-in-law was there. So she got to see me all excited about a couple of the diamond paintings I had. So I had a nice stash come in that day too. So I was like, okay, okay, we're winding down. We're finally getting all the stuff that I've ordered there, and then eventually my list will be shown like nothing, in waiting at this point. So at least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm trying not to go overboard, since I did go a little overboard last month. I did go a bit nuts when they announced the tariffs and stuff like that. I wanted to share support to all the small shops. So I have got a bunch of diamond paintings in my stash for now. And then that way at this point, I'll still be buying diamond paintings all throughout this year. They'll just probably be a bit more reduced instead. I'll be a bit more even pickier than what I was going to be. So, but I still plan on supporting all the small shops. It's just, it might be not as much as I was hoping to be. So we'll see how things go. Cross your fingers. I'm not gonna get political here, just stating a fact. But anyway, so yeah, so all of last week had to deal with the jazz band and things like that. Was kind of trying to wind down from the birthday party, the spring break, and then of course, like I'm doing, was wrapping up the Chrysabug event. So the Chrysabug along, I was wrapping that up, getting that all nice and wrapped in a little bow, and trying to desperately finish this because. And at that point, I knew there was no way I was going to finish. There wasn't. I knew it. I tried. I tried so hard. I really did, guys. But yeah, spring break with my diamond painting went almost non-existent. Let's see. What color should I go with next? This one. We're winding down, guys. Don't worry, we're winding down. I know that this video is probably a little over an hour long now. I know that it's cut like 3 times, so I'm assuming that it's hit the hour mark. I'm going to assume. But let's see where brain is not braining. I will say that brain is not braining, guys. Let me look at my notes. Let me look over here. Oh yeah, so yeah, this whole month is going to be busy. I like so I think not this week, but starting next week is when all the doctor's appointments are just going to be combining. So we got a dentist appointment starting next week. And then if I remember correctly, then I have my CT scan. So I'm nervous about that. So my CT scan's coming up. So that anxiety has started to slowly climb up again. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that nothing bad will happen. But then after after I get my scan, then, I have to see my oncologist and he'll be taking my blood again. And the dang vampires will be like, ooh, that's a juicy vein. They always say that, guys. Like, they make me feel very self-conscious. But yeah, just hopefully at this point, they'll say, I realize my oncologist might be a little bit more cautious than others, because I still have not got the A-OK to get a pet. Like, he doesn't want me to get a pet until he sees my numbers a bit more up on my white and red blood counts, because like I was saying before, like in the previous at my previous doctor's appointment, I'm still considered pretty anemic. With everything. It's been 6 months past since my last chemo. I want to say it's been about 6 months. So my hair's starting to grow. Yay. But yeah, it's been about 6 months, and my red blood cells and my white blood cells have still been pretty bad, especially my red blood cells. My red blood cells are like, whew. So, but he says that the numbers are looking good. They're climbing up. So hopefully that trend continues when I go see him on the like, I think it's in 2 weeks. So, but yeah, kind of nervous about next week, about the scan. Hopefully he doesn't see anything. And then, of course, when I get my blood taken, I'm really hoping he says, yes, you can go get a pet, because I want to get 2 kittens. I need to get kitties. I need them. I need some pets in my life. And it's just killing me, especially when I'm watching Tiffany's videos, or even Alyssa's videos, like seeing their cats, come into view. And I'm just like, I just want to pet. I want to grab. I miss having a cat. I really do. It's been, the last time I've had a pet was like when I was 19. Although, to be fair, I did live in houses that had pets. So I still was around animals. I just didn't own one at that point. Well, technically I owned one, but they were living at my parents' house. So, but yeah, I was just like, I want a pet. I need a pet in my life, and I want the kids to know the responsibility of taking care of one too. I've already told Nicole, because Nicole's like, she wants to. I think it would be good for her, to be honest, to have an animal to care for. And not as like a responsible thing, but more as like a kind of more of like a mental health kind of thing. Just having something to love on like that, and to be able to care for, something like that. And like having something to cuddle with. If the cat wants to cuddle, you gotta respect it if it doesn't, or else the claws will come out. I had to learn that lesson very quick when I was a small child. So. But yeah, I was just like, hopefully I'll get the okay, and we'll have a new pet around summertime. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. But yeah, I have those appointments coming up. Dentist appointment, like I said, next week, and then another dentist appointment for another kid the week after. it's one after the other. I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of done. And then of course, like with it being May, we have all of the end of the year activities coming up. Like, so we got the award ceremonies, the last day of school, and then I have my retreat that I gotta prep for, and I'm just like, there's just so much that's going on. I feel like I'm going to go insane. I feel slightly overwhelmed. I will say that I feel slightly overwhelmed about the amount that I got to prep for. I don't feel like I'm ready. I have been working right at the end. I've been like basically trying to get everything ready for the retreat. I got the suitcases. I'm starting to write a checklist down. I got suitcases. I'm excited though. So yeah, suitcases. I got the air tags. I pulled out my little suitcase for my CPAP machine since I got to bring that with me. I'm checking to see what kind of what kind of canvases I want to bring with me. Like, I've already decided 2 small canvases. Well, one of those a bit on the bigger end. It's still like small, but it's not huge, I guess. And then one's like tiny. I like one of those. I'm going to be doing an unboxing sometime soon, so that way I can prep and kit that up. The other I finished kitting up yesterday. The other one's like Galaxy, so that one's all all ready to go. I ordered enhancement drills for that to be sent to the retreat, along with an enhancement pack. I'm like, I want to work on Petals Fall sometime this year, so I got the drills for that. Because I love it. It looks so beautiful. I want to work on her. And then I got clothes. I have clothes ready, I think. I hope. I even bought brand new yoga pants, so that way I don't wear my faded yoga pants to the retreat. I'm like, that's all I live in is like is hoodies and yoga pants. So I'm going to, since I know that it's going to be hot there, I'm bringing t-shirts, but I'm also bringing cardigans because I know AC areas make me freeze. I get frozen out very quick, so I am bringing my cardigans for the areas, and then of course, like at nighttime, if the AC is cold in the bedroom area, I got a blanket, like it's a nice fuzzy blanket that I had with me since I started chemo. It is the most wonderful blanket in the world. I love it so much. And so I got that. Well, I say pack. I don't have it packed, but I got it ready to go. I got things kind of like in piles. I pulled out the pull-out table for downstairs, and it's kind of like in piles of things that I need to do to get prepped to put into my suitcase. And I'm like, it's only a few weeks. It's only like 3 or 4 weeks. How many weeks is it? 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks away, and I'm like, ah! I'm like, I don't feel ready at all. But also I'm bringing hoodies kind of thing, because I know how cold I could get. But I'm just like, I'm excited and I'm nervous and I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. But here's hoping that everything goes well. And then I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. All right. So I'm really excited about this. It is so many months away, but after the retreat, I have something new to look forward to, something new to kind of count down. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm really excited. Hopefully nothing changes. So I've been seeing like at the movie theater that there's been like tickets and stuff like that, like for Six the Musical, and I love Six. So I like listening to Hamilton. I like listening to Wicked. I like listening to a lot of musicals. But before I got into Epic the musical, I've been obsessed about Six the musical. So I would sing those songs, like not all of them around the kiddos because some of them are kind of not appropriate, but like during dinner time and stuff, like when I was prepping dinner, I would be singing those songs. But I got news that they're going to be performing in an area around here in a few months down the road. I'll let you know when it gets closer. But my husband, he bought He bought tickets. He bought tickets, guys. He bought tickets, and not just any tickets. He bought tickets where like I'm going to be really close to seeing them. Like we're up front, center, and everything. I'm like, yee! I'm still. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself, but I'm like, okay, we got to plan a date night, like kind of thing. And now it's like, so I was like messaging, someone on Discord because I was just like, okay, I know someone has gone to musicals. How do I prep for a musical? And it's like, oh god. And then my husband's like, you're gonna have to actually, because this is where the clothes situation comes in. He's like, you're gonna have to actually dress up. And I'm like, what? Kaiko says, because like I said, I stay in yoga pants and hoodies. I have been for the last few years, and especially since with me getting sick and stuff, that has been my outfit of choice because it's comfortable. Especially because like of my port scar. Actually, a lot of my scars, like from the surgeries and stuff, like where clothes land, some of them don't feel right on me, and I don't like it. So I stopped diamond painting to talk to you guys. I'm too excited. I'm too excited. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, he's all like, you're gonna have to dress up. You're either, basically the area we're going to requires, it has a slight dress code. So either I'm going to have to wear slacks in a blouse or some sort of dressy shirt, or I'm going to have to find a dress. I haven't worn a dress since my wedding day. I haven't worn a dress since my wedding day, guys. Oh my gosh. Not because I don't want to wear a dress, it's just I don't feel like I'm pretty in them. I feel like I don't look good in them, so I just don't wear dresses. So, I'm like, so right now I'm kind of like, I'm trying to lose weight. I've been working on it to lose weight and everything and hopefully I feel like I would lose enough weight where I would feel good about myself wearing a dress. We'll see. But yeah, I can't wear hoodies, not to this event, but but yeah, it's still so many months down the road. I know I'm not expecting miracles like, bam, I lost 100 pounds in 3 or 4 months or however months down the road this is. But, maybe if I could lose, 20 or 30, that would be a start, right? Maybe I might find something in my size. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just like, I already picked out a dress online that I have a goal to go for. I think it's nice and it looks really pretty. It's like this nice black dress, so that way it looks if I ever wear a dress again, I can pull that dress out, for a lot of occasions. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go with this. Hopefully, I'm not buying it until I know I've lost the weight. But it's just like something to look forward to, and I'm excited because especially I want to make sure I fit into the chairs too. I want to be able to fit into the chairs. So I am really, really excited, guys. Like, the retreat's coming up. Now the tickets are like, months down the road. So I'm like, yay! I'm just like, you don't know how excited I am. I am just like, I'm over the moon. I am just, but yeah, but now that he bought the tickets, well, it's kind of little light. Can't be spending much anymore, especially with everything. I spent a lot with, diamond paintings and stuff like that. But right now I'm gonna probably have to stop buying diamond paintings for like a month or two. We'll see. My husband says there are exceptions, so it's not a full-on stop. I think I might be making a purchase this Friday, but that's with DIYman Delights. And I want to be able to get that purchase in because there's like a shop update. So I want to be able to do that, and that's probably going to be the last one for a bit, unless of course there's a Chrissa bug that drops from Diamond Art Club. That's gotta go. That's always my main two. Like my husband has conceded on that fact. If it's a Chrissa bug, or if it's one of the Roy Trin Sailor Moons, those two things is a yes. I got a yes for that. So anything else? No, we can put that up. So, but especially with what I've bought, like I bought a couple of diamond paintings that I feel like are going to go out of stock. Not out of stock, the ones that got restocked. I feel like there's a chance of them becoming archive in the next run or so. I have no clue if they are, but I have been burnt too many times lately. Like there's been a couple, like I'm looking on my wish list that have now been on the got sent to the archive area. So now I have to change my wish list. I have like 3 wish lists. One is like just the diamond paintings. One is the archived wish list where all diamond paintings that I still love but hope one day will come back. They're in the archive list. And then I have the mini dazzles list. So that way that's separate from everything else. Because I don't want all the mini dazzles, but there's quite a few that I want. So I had to move things around. There was like 2 diamond paintings I'm so sad about. One of them's like from Moonbound Studios, which is what prompted me because I bought 2 Moonbound Studio ones. So like one is After the Waltz, and then I'm trying to remember what the other one that I bought was. I don't remember the other one exactly. The Witch's Cottage. I bought that one. So I got those 2 because the Hidden Tower one, it got discontinued. I'm so sad. I was like, and then also Fairy Pippa Returns, that got discontinued. I'm like, no, you know. And then of course one of the Rainbow Witch got discontinued that I had in my wish list. I'm like, no, I wanted that one too. So I was very sad. So those 2 are what's coming, along with also Witch's Bedroom for Mrs. Butter, because I know one of the Mrs. Butters that I kind of kept holding off, like, oh, they'll just restock that one again, suddenly got discontinued. And I know that Witch's Bedroom has been on a few runs already, so I didn't want to take chances. So I was just like, okay, we're going to just do this. We're going to just go buy it, and, you know, that way I can make sure that it's fine. You know, I would be really upset if these 3 were discontinued, and I want to be able to have them. So that's how I'm looking at it right now. If I am going to be absolutely devastated, and I'm slightly devastated about the Hidden Tower. I'm like really, really bummed about that one because I really wanted that one. So but I'm like, okay, we're gonna just have to look forward, you know, to the others, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, but anyway, I've talked your ear off. I know this has to be over an hour because I'm 50 minutes into this video and it's clipped 3 times, so I know it's got to be way over an hour. So I'm sorry about talking your ears off, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!